we need to figure out a way to legalize the undocumented.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and that I think by sitting down and not do anything, and really we are allowing the abuses
Sure.
to continue to happen, and you know it may not be a physical abuse of someone, but the systematic really oppression that we put upon you know certain people.
Sure.
Should not be happening, and that we should act upon it, act on it. And so the Congress is set to really talk about or start another round of immigration debate
Sure.
after the election, of course, you know, because during election year and months, nobody wants to touch
Sure.
religious local issues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also something that we still need to, you know, talk about why is that, and you know, a lot of times people's lives and young people's lives, immigrant youth, their lives are being, you know, put on hold.
Sure, sure.
Because of the politics. But anyway, so back to reality, the policy is set for debate, perhaps January, right? The election is
Okay.
November, so the December is usually like really slow for US Congress, so January. So I think that, you know, I think now and then maybe after the election also that people really should start calling their congressmen,
Okay.
right? Are we ready to fix the law? And that, you know, my neighbor and my friends are really suffering from the system, and that, you know, young people cannot find a job,
Sure.
even with or without college degree,
Because they're undocumented.
because they are undocumented.
Wow. So
Because-
they're already, that idea sets in the mood of lawlessness, because if you don't have any kind of,
And then basically we're saying that by not having a better, a just policy, denying young people's chance to have a job,
sure,
to have higher education, you know, we think it's okay. It's not okay, right? An 18, 19-year-old should have all the opportunities that they could have,
sure, sure,
and whether they are documented or undocumented.
sure.
And that especially a lot of them have been in this country for most of their lives,
Sure.
and their short life, right? You're talking about 18-year-old who may have come here, you know, at the age of 5, 10.
But this is all they know.
This is all they know.
Of
This
course.
is what we want to give.
Sure.
This is how we define ourselves,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Do we define ourselves as a land of opportunities?
Okay. We do. We
We
define
do.
ourselves as a land of opportunity and
Right.
race.
Do we
and-
feel that the opportunity only belong to people who have the privilege or who come first?
Well, I'm going to say this right here.
Right,
I heard
so-
the Honorable President
Please.
Ronald Reagan say this right here, and I believe it was when Mikhail Gorbachev first visited the United States. And that was
It was
very
80.
88, no, 80, 85, 86 or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe even before that. And I remember this here. You know, we always wait for this white plane to stop. You know, because this Russian leader was getting off. You know, and we were taken by his wife, Raza, of course. And then this leader came off, and everybody, you know, wow, you know, and of course, the commentator was talking as the plane was pulling in. And then I believe that night that they had a discussion or a dinner or something like that. And I believe President Reagan said at the time, he said, you know, American come from every place in the world. To some effect, he said like that right there. So I think that for that alone is one of the reasons why I took on the challenge to get an understanding of what's going on, to really know what's going on here.
Right.
Because from this interview here will not stop here. I want to go actually to immigration and talk to someone actually there to get more information on what's going on and things of that nature. Because I believe that we're still a nation that we grow by ideas. You know, Simple as this right here. You see this cell phone. The other day I was working around the house.
That's my cell phone.
Yeah, she'll But the other day I was using an example. The other day I was working around the house, and I guess I worked 9-10 hours rebuilding this house, and I was washing the uniform, the pants that I wear, and I happened to wash this telephone in the in the washing machine. I said, "Oh my God, my phone is in there in the washing machine." Stop the washing machine, pull the phone out. All right, phone was drenched, soaking. So the next day, you know, I'm trying to charge this thing, and the call wouldn't work. So at my job, I put the phone on top of the roof in the building, make the heat, whatever. Dry it out. So the guy on the job said, "What are you doing?" I said, "You know, this phone is wet." I said, "I'm washing the washing machine." I said, "Man, I need my phone up." I was getting ready to go buy a $100 phone. I knew that's what they were going to charge. Okay. So he said to me, he said, "I'll tell you what to do." He said, "Same thing happened to me." He said, "When I jumped in a swimming pool with my telephone." He said, I said, he had blackberries. I jumped in the swimming pool with my blackberry. I said, "Well, what did you do?" He said, "Here it is here." He said, "Go home and get a bowl of dry rice.
Oh.
Put the phone, take the battery out, put the phone in the dry rice.
Yeah.
Okay? And then let it sit overnight. And the phone will work in the morning. The rice will absorb it." So I said, "You know what? Okay." I had no other choice. I went home, did it. The next day, the very next day, wasn't even 24 hours. Got home around 6 o'clock. I put it in there about 3 in the morning. The phone was up and working.
Aww.
So,
that's great.
you know what I mean? I think that we're a nation that have people that we develop and built on ideas. And the only way to get ideas is to meet people. So I'm happy when I meet people from other places.
Yeah, me too.
It really enriches me.
Me too. And then I think that's one of the very important reasons why I'm here. You know, I come from a country, it's pretty homogeneous. You know, it's single ethnic, where, you know, I love diversity and different cultures. I feel like, you know, I need that learning and that, you know, for as long as I can. And so, but that's just my personal reason. I think a lot of people come here not necessarily for that reason. They come here for the, you know, for better opportunities for their children. The same thing we want with our children, you know, if we were parents ourselves. You know, and I think that we should try everything we can to make that more equal and available to people. You know, and again, I'm the more fortunate people where I don't have to flee a country, you know, from death threats or from extreme poverty, you know, but they are people who do that, and that, you know, we are in a very wealthy country. I would say that, you know, we should be able to provide more for the people, you know, that are in need in the world in general, right? Because we do different trades in other countries too, and we do.
That's not talked about. You see, that's one of the biggest things.
That's not talked about. That's a very complicated.
It's not talked about. No one talks about how much we send out and how much, you know.
How much we take from other people.
Right, or how much we export so much.
How much we export, how much money we make, we could make from selling those products. And from trading with other countries, and that also influenced global migration. Right.
And then I think also too that we, in America, where we fall short too in conversation about should we redevelop the wheel. You know, maybe some nations can make that staple over there a lot cheaper than us. We might have made the staples in the 50s, and phone there